Everyone, dismissed for rest, regroup at 4 this afternoon for the final pre-to-launch briefing. Kira hands the battery to me. I take it and head it straight to Sylvia, telling her to keep it safe. Soon the entire factory falls quiet. Kira begins laying out the launch plan. I suggest we split the event into 3 parts. First, present data using the Zhongke Testing Center report. Second, run a live product test on stage. Third, announce our future production roadmap and initial partnership intentions. Just then, Sylvia's phone buzzes. She glances at it and her face fills with shock. President Kira, Chairman Milo, look at this. She holds the phone out. On the screen is a breaking financial news alert. Titan Energy CEO Desmond has given an interview, positioning himself as an industry leader to publicly attack Novastar Technologies. He claims Novastar's production line was abandoned long ago and that the company lacks even the most basic battery production credentials. He calls on the industry to boycott what he calls market-destroying behavior. The article ends with a photo of a dilapidated production line. The mood inside the factory drops to freezing. But then Kira suddenly laughs. She stands up and walks to the production line. Chairman Milo, I request permission to change the launch plan. Tomorrow we skip all product introductions. Instead, we fill the entire factory floor with cameras, live stream to the whole world, and produce a brand new Nova 1 right in front of everyone. Then immediately run a hell mode stress test. Finally, tear it apart on camera so the entire world can see the Nova 1 is no empty shell. Can you lock down the media coverage and live stream platforms? Absolutely. Kira's voice is rock solid. I nod, pull out my phone and make a call. Send an invitation to Titan Energy headquarters. Tell them I have reserved the center seat in the front row just for him. Shortly after, inside Titan Energy's chairman's office, Desmond has just wrapped up a meeting with investors. He has turned Novastar Technologies into a synonym for capital fraud. His interview dominates every major financial headline. In his mind, this war is already over. But right then, his chief assistant enters. President Desmond, they have invited you to their product launch tomorrow. Desmond takes the invitation, opens it, and reads the almost taunting text. Rage rises in his chest. Good, a fool who doesn't know his place. Tell him I accept. I want to see firsthand how they crash and burn. The assistant nods and quickly exits. That afternoon the internet explodes. First, Titan Energy's official account announces that Chairman Desmond has accepted Novastar's invitation, with the stated goal of exposing an industry scam and protecting market integrity. Immediately after, Novastar's official account drops a single poster. On it, just a few bold lines: we will do one thing and one thing only. From raw parts to a finished battery. From production to teardown. Tomorrow 10 in the morning, global livestream. See you there. The poster detonates across the internet like a bomb, instantly turning the launch into the most watched event in the country. Meanwhile, inside the Novastar factory, Leland and his technicians are running final checks on the line. Kira walks up to me. Chairman Milo, that outfit of yours is not going to hold the room tomorrow. I look down at what I am wearing. You are right. So Kira and I head to the most exclusive luxury mall in the city. Before long, I park my truck outside the mall entrance and walk into a high-end suit shop with Kira. She speaks the moment we step inside. We need a suit for tomorrow. The fabric needs to command the room but not shout. The master tailor scans me head to toe and finishes his assessment in seconds. He turns and pulls out a few fabric swatches. How about these Italian high-thread count wools? Kira picks one up, runs her fingers over it. This one. What follows is a fast but thorough round of measuring and fitting. Right then, a voice dripping with sarcasm cuts in. Well, well, if it isn't the great boss Milo. Does your little shop earn enough to buy a scrap of cloth here? Victor strolls in with his arm around Tiffany. She spots me and her face twists with contempt. Victor, don't be so harsh. Clothes here aren't cheap. Maybe Milo has turned things around and even paid off his $350,000 debt. I left that past behind long ago, so from start to finish, I say nothing. I just calmly continue my fitting. But being ignored stings Tiffany with humiliation and anger. Kira instantly reads the dynamic. She takes half a step forward, her gaze locking onto Victor. The president of Grandview Construction under Titan Energy is your father, correct? That is right, at least you have some sense. Victor assumes Kira is trying to suck up. Instead, her tone is flat. Your company's capital chain on the South Side real estate project snapped. Your father, to cover the gap, diverted $300 million from a designated bank loan. Grandview's available cash is probably under $20 million right now. And the final repayment date is the 15th of next month, isn't it? Victor's face goes white with terror. He freezes, unable to comprehend how Kira knows these inside details. Everything he was showing off a moment ago has just been ripped to shreds. Kira does not spare him another glance. She turns to the tailor. Match these measurements with 2 premium dress shirts and 3 ties. Deliver everything to this address before 9 tomorrow morning. She places a business card on the counter. The words Novastar Technologies leap off the card into Victor's eyes. In that instant, every recent news headline collides in his brain. The next second, Victor lets out an almost manic laugh. The president of a scam company? What right does she have to investigate my family's business? Tiffany remembers the viral headlines and sneers along. I thought you had found a sugar mama. Turns out it is just a con woman. You two really are made for each other. Kira watches them with an even gaze. Victor marches up to her, his finger nearly jabbing her face. Right now, get on your knees and apologize. One phone call from me and I shut your whole company down. I step sideways, placing myself between Kira and Victor. Victor meets my ice-cold stare and immediately falters, but I do not raise a hand. I speak calmly. Tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, Novastar Technologies factory. I welcome you to bring your media friends along. I turn away from him without another word, give Kira a nod, and together we walk out. A wave of humiliation crashes over Victor. My words echo in his head, like charity from someone too powerful to bother explaining himself. A vicious glint flashes in Victor's eyes. Fine. I will show the whole world what you really are, Milo. The next morning at 9, the once desolate East Side Industrial Zone becomes the focus of the entire city, even the whole country. The entrance to the Novastar factory is packed wall to wall. Major media vans clog every road. Countless influencers hold up phones, streaming live. Just then, a stir ripples through the crowd. A Rolls-Royce Phantom glides up slowly, stopping at the factory gate. Desmond steps out, flanked by bodyguards. A warm, confident smile sits on his face. Camera flashes erupt instantly. Reporters swarm him. Sir, do you have evidence of Novastar's fraud? What is your take on this kamikaze-style livestream? Desmond stops and faces the cameras with a smile. I am not here today to attack anyone. I am simply a veteran who has spent half his life in this industry, here to witness firsthand the so-called rise of a newcomer. As for the truth, I believe the facts will give us the best answer. With that, Desmond walks inside. Right then, a red Ferrari pulls up at the entrance. Victor steps out with Tiffany on his arm, chin held high. Behind them trails his entourage of media friends. Moments later, Victor and Tiffany push through the crowd and enter the venue. Inside the factory, the audience area is divided into several sections, all facing the production line. Over a dozen high-definition cameras are mounted alongside it, capable of capturing every last detail. The entire venue is eerily quiet. Everyone is stunned by the spectacle before them. Time ticks by. At exactly 10 in the morning, every light in the venue goes dark. The eyes of the entire world focus on this one spot. In the darkness, a single spotlight beams down from the ceiling, illuminating the futuristic production line. At the same time, the livestream cameras lock on, projecting the feed onto massive screens for all to see. The audience buzzes with chatter. Desmond sits in the reserved front row center seat, brow furrowed. He spots something wrong immediately. Looking at this production line that defies everything he knows, a creeping unease tightens in his chest. Right then, Kira approaches with steady, measured steps. She stops directly in front of the production line. Distinguished guests, members of the media, good morning. I am Kira, president of Novastar Technologies. Today we will show you, starting from the most basic raw materials, the creation of a Nova 1 battery. Now please welcome our chairman, Milo. My figure appears before the entire audience. I am wearing a tailored suit. My eyes are calm as still water. I walk casually to the control console and lean against it. Welcome to our launch. As Kira said, today we do one thing only. Live production. I press the button on the console. The next second, the dormant production line roars to life. Over 100 indicator lights flicker on one by one. Mechanical arms rise smoothly into standby position. The giant screens light up, divided into multiple zones. The main feed shows a close-up of Workstation 1, where an array of raw materials sits on display. Kira begins introducing each material, from silicon dioxide to graphite powder. Desmond scoffs openly. Smoke and mirrors. Are they trying to stall for time? Victor doubles over laughing. Is this a middle school science class? The livestream chat floods with mocking comments. But then the production line fires up. Mechanical arms grab precise amounts of raw material and feed them into a fully sealed furnace unit. On screen, the internal temperature readings spike instantly. At the same time, Kira narrates calmly. Through our proprietary plasma bombardment process, raw materials are broken down to atomic level. All impurities are stripped away, yielding pure silicon, lithium, and carbon. The silicon atoms are then restructured to form our proprietary three-dimensional porous silicon-carbon framework. This is the key to achieving ultra-high energy density and stability. Every word from Kira lands like a bomb. The smile on Desmond's face freezes solid. He has only seen those terms in cutting-edge research journals or even science fiction. Desmond snaps upright in his seat, eyes locked on the rapidly updating data. Every figure on screen matches the process perfectly. Moments later, Desmond leans toward his technical director and hisses, "Find out where this technology came from." But the director's forehead breaks out in cold sweat. "Sir, we already check. Fewer